Christ reveals the true identity of the serpent both in his Gospels and Revelation. However, the serpent's identity changes over time, from the beginning in Genesis to his time when he walked the earth, and even during our current time right now. So starting with Revelation, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. This describes the fall of the fallen angels from heaven in the ancient past, but it also reveals that the dragon, the serpent, the devil, and Satan are all one and the same. So the serpent in the garden was a fallen angel. After Adam's fall, one of the judgments against the serpent was, "And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." So there would be war between the serpent seed, which is Cain and the Nephilim, and Eve's seed, which is Seth, who replaced Abel. However, it is revealed through Enoch and expounded upon by Peter and Jude that the fallen angels are bound in prison. But as Christ reveals, the offspring of vipers are still present in his time, so it must be the serpent's descendants. So to give a summary how this all happened, the race of Cain and Nephilim survived the flood, and through their influence after the flood, Noah's descendants turned to paganism and began mixing again. So Yahweh chose Abraham out of it. Jacob's line was to supplant the Adamic nations or seed of the woman, whilst Esau would mix with the serpent seed. He had intermarried with the Canaanites, who in turn had intermixed with the race of Cain and Nephilim. So Esau's line was corrupt and would become the main antagonist of the serpent seed. The Israelites gradually migrated to Europe, becoming the Europeans, especially after the deportations, as Cimmerians, Scythians, Galatae, Celts, Germanic tribes, and many other names, and they are depicted as the fleeing woman in Revelation. After the deportations, a small remnant of Israelites returned to rebuild Judea, becoming the Judeans. But 130 years prior to Christ, the Judeans began converting the Edomites to a corruption of the ancient Israelite religion, turning it into a universalist religion it was never intended to be. And from then on, the Edomites also became known as Judeans. King Herod, who was an Edomite, seized power in Judea and put Edomites in all the positions of power around him. And this is why Christ was continuously hounded. His adversaries were Edomite Judeans of that serpent seed, and that enmity was there. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, the Edomite Judeans infiltrated Europe, but always maintained their fake identity as Judeans. Initially, Christian laws kept the Edomite false Judeans separate from Europeans, but by the time of the French Revolution, Napoleon emancipated them, making them equal citizens, which spread all across Europe. Since then, they have usurped power and rule over us now and are flooding our nations. They collectively are the serpent and are trying to destroy us, continuing what their ancestors, the fallen angels, started thousands of years ago.